for a few weeks, lots of things going on here, and it was just too hot. Tail end of last week and the start of this week to actually do anything for you. I didn't want you exercising particularly much in that weather. So as always, this is going to be a live broadcast onto our page firstly, and then from there I'll transfer it across onto our other mediums for you as well. So what I've got for you today is a circuit in as much as 7 stations with different elements for you. Now add weight in to give yourself more impetus in there to provide more intensity into it if you want to. Remember, from our weights perspective, we can utilise 4-pint bottles of milk that have been filled with water. That will be equal to 2.5 kilograms. You can put soil or sand or anything like that into it as well, and that will be giving you more additional weight as well. I'm going to demonstrate it without any weight, so you can then add that weight in to increase the intensity if you want to. Before we do anything, what we're going to do is set our posture. It's really important that we focus onto our posture. So posture wise, we're going to stand with our heels in line with our hips. Our knees are in line with our hips as well. Grow an extra inch, stand taller from your ribs and between your ribs and your hips. Lift the shoulders up, take them back together and press down. So you've got good alignment in our upper body and we've lengthened through the whole of the body. Keep the neck long as well. If you imagine a piece of string from your head pulling you tall, so we're standing tall. Now, this, as I say, is a circuit. You do this after you've done your warm-up. Now, the warm-ups are on the YouTube channel and I've sent them out previously. So you do a warm-up for about 10 minutes. After it, you do a cool down. Yeah, and you can chop and change. So if you only want to do part of the circuit, do part of it. But I'm very aware I haven't been around for you for the last couple of weeks. And I want to give you a big blast now so you can utilise it if you want to. Okay, so after you've done the warm-up, the first thing we're going to start off with is a lunge and a twist. So have a look at it from the front, okay? I step forward, heel down, toe down, and my knee comes down at the back. Rotation to the side, back into the centre, and step back in. Other way, heel down, bend, weight through that front foot. Yeah, so if I show you from the side, here look, we step forward, heel down, toe down, back knee comes down, and from there we're onto the toes. I twist away from the leg that is supporting me. Okay, so whichever leg goes forward, your rotation is the other way. So step forward, down, rotate, in and back up, and then change to the other side. Now, the way to vary this, add weight in, take it deeper, but listen to your knees. That front knee goes no further forward than your toes, all right? So that's your first station. So you can utilize that. All right. Now, if you're watching this on catch up, you're going to watch it a little bit later on, pause it at that point. Do that. Give me 45 seconds to a minute of that move, and then come back in and have a march for about 45 seconds as well. Okay, if we're in a seated position, we can still utilise that move. So we're in the front third of the chair. We step forward with one foot, heel down, toe down, and we hinge from our hip. There's your rotation. Okay, back into the centre and change. Now, when I say hinge from the hip, what I mean is back straight look, and just hinging forward. The heel's gone down, the toe has gone down, and then I'm rotating from there. What I'm not doing is bending from my waist. Yeah, so I'm sitting tall and I'm hinging forward from my hip and rotating. Station 1 for you. Okay, so pause, give me a minute of that. After you've done that minute, restart and let's have a little march. Here's your active recovery, so you're keeping the body moving. As far as your march is concerned, think about your feet, yeah? Coming down onto the balls of the toe first, balls and toes first. So toes, ball of the foot, and then through to the heel. The pace is what is right for you. So whatever your pace is the correct pace. If you can, put an arm movement in there as well, and focus on driving back from your shoulder. So it's the backward motion that's the important part there. Driving it back, mobilizing through your shoulder. Okay, take a pause there, stop. Yeah, we're going to focus into this trunk totally now. So here's our twist. To the side, pause into the centre, and back the other way. Yeah, now we can put our arms here, we can fold them in front, we can place them one on top of each other in front. But have a look at my hips. They don't move. Yeah, the movement is through the upper body. So a couple of things you can do. If you've got something you can lean on, back of into the kitchen work surface, for instance, twist there. If you feel your bottom lifting off as you twist, the hips are moving. We don't want that. Other things, sitting in your chair, okay? Buttocks stay in contact with the chair as well. And as we twist, if we feel the buttock lifting on either side, we've got movement through our hips. A minute either side to increase the intensity, add some weight in there. The first thing you can do with that, weight here, close into the body. Yeah, if you want to increase it further, take the weight away from the body, but still focus on those hips staying still. All right, and the rotation is as much as you feel comfortable with. Stance, heels are outside your hips, so about shoulders width, knees are soft, so you can help even more to focus on keeping those hips still. Take a pause, 45 seconds to a minute of that. When you come back out your pause, come back into that circulation booster, that active recovery, the march, the swing of the arms, alternatives for your foot pedal. And if you're in a seated position, if you want to do this in a seated position, then this march here is quite a big amount of work as far as your hip flexors are concerned at the top. So you may want to just go to a foot pedal or a tap of the toes in front. Your arms moving from side to side, swinging backwards and forwards. Again, driving through those shoulders, mobilising, keeping them active. Your 45 seconds is your chance to get a recovery. Grab a drink if you need one. After you've done 45 seconds, let's show you what move number 3 is. So this is a side lunge and a bicep curl. So I'm a little bit limited for space here, so I'm going to show you on one side, you go from side to side. So we step out, toe goes down first, heel comes down afterwards. We've got that wider stance. Can you see how this knee goes no further forward than my toes at the front, but no further out than the foot at the side? And I'll show you from the side in a moment. As you do that, bicep curl up, and then you step back in. Change to the other side. Have a look at the side profile, okay? So I'll show you feet first. Toe down, heel down, and I come across. Knee no further forward than the shoes. At the same time, we bring the arms up towards the chest and we lower down. Elbow stays in line with shoulder, so all of the movement happens here. Okay? That is your move. In a seated position, you take the foot out, toe down, heel down, and you bring your arms up. At the same time, shift your weight a little bit if you can. Yeah? So you step out, shift your weight a little bit and come on up. Step back in, other way, shift your weight a little way, back up and in. That is your seated option. Now, to add intensity, you can put some weight in there as far as those bicep curls are concerned. You can also take it a little bit bigger. So you can step a little bit wider, come down a little bit further, a hinge of the hip in from the front. But be careful. Think about where you feel this. The wider you go it, the more you're going to feel it into your inner thigh. And you need to be able to get yourself back up into that upright position to take it the other way. Take a pause there, 45 seconds to a minute of that for me. Okay, when you come back, you've done your 45 seconds to a minute. You have a little march again, that active recovery, just to get your breath back, get it breathing back down a little bit. Remember, all of this, you've done your warm-up firstly. You're going to do a cool down afterwards as well. This is all little options for you to work on. And that time scale, 45 seconds to a minute, it's your decision how much you want to go. If you want to leave this circuit at any point, you don't have to do the whole of it. There are 7 stations for you as far as this is concerned. And if you really are up to it, go through it twice. Go through once. Have a good march, have a walk around, and then come back and do it again. Take a pause there. Let's move on to our next station. It's a sit to a stand. Now, in our seated position, we're in the front third of the chair. Our feet are flat on the floor. The heels are just behind our knees. We're sitting tall. We're going to lean forward slightly, so a little bit of a hinge here. and follow our nose through our toes. And what I mean by that is, as we lean forward slightly, we power down through our heels. The nose comes forward and above the toes, and we stand up, and then we sit back down with control. Okay, so we power up and we sit back down with control. That is your base option. If you want to take it a little bit further, intensity wise, what we can do is power up, come back down, just touch the chair, and then stand back up again. So I'm touching the chair and then I'm standing back up again. Knees still coming no further forward than my toes. If you want to take it higher, power up, come down, but don't actually reach the chair, hover and power up again. So you're continually working through those legs, and you're making these muscles work the whole time with that hold. Can you see as I come down, there's a hinge at the hips, the back is straight, the bottom's going back as far as that is concerned. Okay? Seated options for you. Squeeze your butt and lift. Squeeze your butt and lift. Okay? Number one. Number two, a little jockey lift. Okay? And that might be you having to hold onto the chair and give yourself a little lift off, or hands onto your thighs and up. You may have some support in front of you, and again you can do that little jockey lift. And the jockey lift literally is just lifting a few inches off the chair, a bit like a jockey when it's in a race. Okay, decide which one you want to do, take it away, 45 seconds or a minute of that, and I'll be here for you when you're finished. Pause there and do it. Okay, after you've done your 45 seconds to a minute of that, come back in, march it out. Let's get those arms going. Working from our shoulders, driving the elbows backwards. We've got, excuse me, we've got that active recovery. About 45 seconds again of this. Let the breathing come down a little bit, relaxing a little bit, getting our breath back. Heart rate should come down a little bit as well. We're halfway through. We've gone past the hump part of this. 3 more stations to go. Okay, your next station, working into the legs and working into the arms. It's a step back and a kick back. So let me just lose this chair out of the way for a moment so I can show you. All right, so from there, standing tall, feet flat on the floor, I step back onto my ball of the foot and I stay there. Yeah, elbow comes out and back. So the elbow stays in line with the shoulder look and I push back. So the movement is this. And you change side every time. Elbow staying in line with shoulder. Now, to take it higher, intensity wise, you can take it into a bit of a lunge as well. So you take it into a bigger movement firstly. Yep. So there's your movement. Changing leg every time. We're going deeper. Second one, to take it a little bit higher if you want to. Hands up here. And what you can do is, as you step back, arms come down behind your head. Elbows are just bending again. Okay? It's more of a balance challenge as well, that one. So there's your options if you're in a standing position. If you're in a seated position, we're here. We can start and we can have some weight into our hand if we want to. It's that movement backwards there. We're just focusing into that back of the arm. Sitting tall, taking the arm back and forward. Your other option, if you're in a seated position, have something support-wise in front of you. Take your hands out so the shoulders width apart. Okay? Keep the elbows tucked in, come forward and push your way back. Make sure that chair stays stable, so you might need to come in closer to where you are. Forward and push back, but keep the elbows tucked in so you feel this through the back of the arm. Okay, there's your options. 45 seconds or a minute. Take a pause here of the tape, that is, and go. Okay, welcome back. About 45 seconds of marching, active recovery. Again, bringing the foot down onto the floor, down onto the ball of the foot firstly, rolling through to the toes, taking the foot all the way down, working through your ankle, your feet and your toes. Arm swings in there as well if you can. Focus again onto your shoulder, so driving it through from your shoulder. 2 more to go. Okay, Number one of those two is a skiing move. So think about the ski erg that we use at the gym. All right, feet outside your hips, about shoulders width apart, arms here. That's option one. Okay, let me show you from the side. It's here. So we've got that hinge at the hip, arms coming up and down. You can add weight in if you want to. There's your first option. Take it a little bit higher and we can come a little bit further down. Yeah, so we've got more of a squat. But again, we've still got just that hip hinge, knees coming no further forward than our toes. And we'll power through. Move number two. Okay, option number three. Here down and up onto our toes as we come back up. Yeah, so there's your option, power down and up. And again, with each of those, you can add weights in if you want to. In our seated position, we have here the motion with the arms. Yeah, you can lift onto your toes as you pull down, so you get that movement in there as well into the calf. There's an option for you for increased intensity, a little jockey lift as you pull down, yeah, or a butt squeeze. So lift, squeeze your bottom as you come. There's your choices. 45 seconds to a minute. Pause the video here and go. 45 seconds to a minute. Okay, welcome back. Active recovery for you. So marching through, onto the ball of the foot, through to the heel. You should be really feeling this now. One last station to go. Okay, so our last station. Feet, shoulders width apart, hands up here. It's a punch through. Can you see the rotation through the hand? Yeah, so palms are facing into each other as I'm at the back, and they rotate to point towards the floor. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 5 punches through forward, 5 uppercuts. You punch forward, no locking of the elbow out, keep it straight, yeah? You hook up towards your chin, stop before you hit, okay? So bang, 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 bang. There's your moves, okay? First option, exactly as you've just seen. To add intensity in, hold some weights into your hand. This is going to be one where you really want to hold tins or proper hand weights. I wouldn't do this with milk bottles, yeah? Next option for you is to keep the feet moving at the same time. So march on the spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. There's your next intensity level. In our seated position, again, trying to keep the hands nice and level and up chest height. There's your punch. There's your hook. Yeah. So you got your jab forward and your hook up. Again, 5 and 5. All right. To make it a little bit more difficult for you, if you're in a seated position, and march at the same time as you come through, powering through. Yeah. There you go. All right. So 45 seconds to a minute. Go. Okay. Once you're back, active recovery again. So marching on the spot, get the breathing back down again. Now the choice is yours, okay? If you were using a chair and standing is on your radar and is able, then try and do the circuit next time in a standing position with the chair available, so you can utilize it if you need to, okay? If you want to, you can go around that circuit again. What I need you to do now, or after you've gone around it again, is cool down. So you know the cool down video is there, go and use it. 5 to 10 minutes of cool down, okay? I want you to get back to a normal breathing pattern. I want your heart rate to come down. I want you to make sure that you work at the level that is right for you. Remember what I said at the very beginning. Whatever the range is and the pace is the correct one. Whatever you do is correct. Okay, always remember that. There you go then, there's the circuit for you. If you do that with your warm-up and your cool down afterwards, go through it once, you're looking at about 20 to 25 minutes. If you go through it twice, you're looking at about 45 minutes, okay? Give it a shot, see how you get on. As always, any questions, any comments, any feedback, any requests, let me know. I look forward to seeing you again really soon. I will post some more videos. I'm sorry, I've just been really busy over the last couple of weeks. This is why I haven't been around a great deal, but I will post you some more as well. Take care. See you soon. Bye.